Hello there and welcome back to André Plays the Unreal Beta Dots Conversion. We have just finished Morose and we are about to enter FHub5, the 5th hub map. But before I do, I just want to mention one thing about the beta soundtrack. So in my last video, I mentioned this a little bit, but I don't think I made myself very clear exactly what was going on. So I just want to reiterate it now. So the idea is that in Unreal, during development, a lot of things had been cut. There had been maps had been cut, alternate textures for the monsters had been cut, and a lot of music had been cut as well. So there were originally a whole lot of songs that played like in the background of maps that they sort of got rid of and that don't appear in the release version of Unreal. Now it's weird because this is a version of the beta based on a version that was leaked. So like at some point someone who developed Unreal leaked this version of Unreal that was like an incomplete version of it where it had a whole bunch of maps and stuff that were not in the final version. But what's weird is that it doesn't have the soundtrack. So this has a whole lot of these maps that were not in the final version, but it doesn't have all of those music files that were cut from the final version. So maybe at the point when they made this beta, they had already cut a lot of the beta music out of it, but still not cut many of the beta maps. So it was like a period of transition in exactly what they were doing. I'm not sure, but you can find other versions of the beta that actually do contain a lot of this beta music, and it's actually very cool. Anyway, okay, let us continue to FHub5, the 5th hub map. Where are we saving it? So you may notice that this map, the name of it, is actually Nagomi Passage. This is kind of, again, a bit like Spire Valley and FHub4. So this map is based, in the beta, this map is just FHub5. However, when Return to Napali was made, they remade this map into a map called Nagomi Passage for Return to Napali. So when Dots was giving this beta map a name, like a map title, rather than leaving it as untitled or whatever, he must have called it Nagomi Passage because it is effectively the map that turns into Nagomi Passage. But there are many differences between FHub5 from the beta and Nagomi Passage, which is a map that this map was sort of remade into for Return to Napali. For instance, these textures. This uses the crypt textures, whereas Nagomi Passage does not use the crypt textures. Razor blades and razor jack. Do I need the razor jack already? I don't even need the razor jack. The blades are already enough, and a dead gnarly. So now, this map is a hub map. It's called FHub5, so you'd expect it to be a hub map, and it is. It's a real hub map, just like FHub1, also called, what was it, Rhine-Davis Canyon, I think. Yeah, just like FHub1. This map has 3 entrances and 3 exits. So we're going to be leaving this map and coming back into this map another 2 more times. So yeah, it's a real hub map. And just like Rhine-Davis Canyon, you have to basically 2 of the exits are open now and the 3rd one is locked. So you have to first beat, so it's like 2 side maps and then 1 main map to continue. So you have to beat the 2 side maps, and only once you beat both of them will the main map to continue unlock. So just like with Rhine-Davis Canyon, you had to beat Rajigar Mine and Chisra before the way to Dark Arena would open. Similarly here, you have to beat Aztec and Nexus before the path to Foundry will open. So one interesting change from Nagomi Passage is that Nagomi Passage does not have these planks of wood. In Nagomi Passage, this is just a big drop and you just have to drop into the water or drop down there. There's no planks of wood here, but in FHub5 there are planks of wood. Here's a gnarly. Hello, gnarly. He's just coughing. Let's just go down here first. We have some gnarly fruit. And we have a pool of water here. Now what's interesting is this little passageway over here. In Nagomi passage, this thing here, this like little brownish texture is not there, and neither is this passage. This is simply just rock and it's closed off, and this is just a pool that doesn't go anywhere. However, in FHub5, this actually leads to one of the exits. This leads to Aztec. So let me sort of show you what happens in here. We get a minigun, which we don't need because we already... Did fish just spawn in the water? Something spawned in the water, I think. We have a minigun, which we don't need because we're already full on minigun. Although I might as well just use clips now. And yeah. Lots of fruit. And this little waterfall, I guess. It's not really a waterfall. The water. I guess it is a bit of a waterfall. But yeah, this you can go in here, and yeah, and you're in this little thingy here. You press this button. This thing turns around. You walk forward. And boom, you're in Aztec. So you can access Aztec right from the beginning of FHub5. But yes, this is one of the exits, one of the maps that comes off this, one of the maps that come off this map that we have to complete in order to reach the Foundry, which is like the main map that leads on from this map. We're not going to go there just yet though. First I'm going to explore the whole map. Then I'm going to come back here. But yes. Now what's interesting is that, so the map that's down there, Aztec, that map gets remade as well and put into Return to Napali. However, in Return to Napali, you don't access it from here. In Return to Napali, you access the map Aztec, or it's called Valora Temple. In Return to Napali, the map is called Valora Temple, but you access like a modified version of that map, but from the entrance to Nexus. So there are two side maps in FHub5. Aztec here, and Nexus, which is down there. Aztec leads to... this passageway leads to Aztec, and the one down there leads to Nexus. But in Nagomi Passage, we actually find... that's the Return to Napali version of this map. The map Aztec gets placed in the... So you basically walk to where the entrance to Nexus is, and you walk through it, but instead of taking you to Nexus, it now takes you to Valora Temple, which is basically the map that Aztec turned into. So they messed around with the geometry a bit, of like what goes where leads where. Now you see we are down here. If we climb up here, this takes us up here, and we can walk back around here. It's very barren here. In Nagomi Passage, there's a lot. It's a lot more like lush. There's like a lot more, grass and definitely a lot more monsters. But there's just more going on. Whereas this still feels a bit incomplete, or at least maybe because it's a hub map. And for a hub map, you don't want to fill it with too much stuff, because you're going to have to do this map several times. But Yeah, it's a bit empty. So now this up ahead, this structure is the exit from Aztec. So when we go down there, we go down in the water, we do Aztec, we do the whole Aztec temple, and we come out of Aztec in here and check out the face. You can see it's actually like a face type structure with like an eyebrow and nose and mouth and everything. See that? But yeah, so when we exit from Aztec, we will exit from in here. In Nagomi Passage, instead of pupae here, there are spinners, which are like this monster that look like little web-spitting spiders. Spinners are like I guess nowadays you'd call Return to the Party DLC, but back in the day there was no term DLCs, it was just the expansion pack. But yeah, spinners are an expansion pack exclusive monster, so spinners are not in the main game, rather they were made just for Return to the Party. And when I do my Return to the Party playthrough, you will see them and everything that they can do. Where to now? Okay, so... Oh, that scar just spawned down there. Let me make my way down. Okay. Now we could go that way along there, but instead I'm gonna go this way. Is there an invisible wall here? I'm stuck. Am I in the air? There's like an invisible wall, like a bit of a weird geometry there. A brute? Beast brute? Might as well use my razor jack since there's razor jack near the beginning of the map. And wait, was there anything up there? Let me check up there. No, there's nothing up here. Now this is the entrance to Foundry, the main map that follows on from here. So it's at the moment it's locked. We can't actually access it yet. So if we walk down here, this is sealed, so we cannot get in. Once we complete Aztec and Nexus, this will become unsealed. There's stuff down there in the water, but I'm not going to go there just yet. I want to show you more of the map. So this is the entrance to Nexus. Just like Aztec, we can actually walk in here right now and go into Nexus. So let me just show you. If we just walk into here. Boom, we're in Nexus. So yeah, so we could literally just walk into Nexus, walk into Aztec. What's interesting is this thing in Nagomi Passage, in the Return to the Party version of this map, it doesn't use crypt textures, it uses different textures, and this big triangular object is you can't see the back of it. Instead, this whole thing is like moved into the cliff. So it's like this part is over here. So the third spoke is going inside the cliff. You can't see the third spoke. I think that's because in Nagomi Passage, when you enter this, you enter Valora Temple, which is like what Aztec turns into. And in order to make the geometry make more sense, because you go forward into a big room, and if with this, when you clearly go down. So with Nexus, you clearly go underground. Whereas in Valora Temple, you go forward into a big area. So to make it make sense, they put it against the mountain. So at least you're now inside the mountain. And here we have a pool. Now what's interesting about this pool is there's a grate in it, and I'll show you what that does in a second. But yeah, there's a grate there. In Nagomi Passage, there is no grate there. In Nagomi Passage, this is just a pool that has no apparent purpose, or it's just a pool, whatever, just water. So we're seeing the entrance to Aztec that was in that water pool near the beginning. We've seen the exit from Aztec, which is where the pupae were. We've seen the entrance to Nexus. And up here, if we go, we will see the exit from Nexus. So we go into Nexus down there. And this here is the exit from Nexus. So when we finish Nexus, we will come out of this door. So we enter it down there, go into the whole Nexus, and come out of it from that door. Now let's explore the big water passage. This way, I think. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, in Return to Napali, in the Nagomi Passage, there's actually an elevator here, so that if you fall in the water, you can catch the elevator back up. But in here, there's no elevator, and that's because in FHub5, there is a different way out of this water. In the Nagomi Passage, this whole secret, not secret, this whole area here does not exist. There's just this pool of water, but once again, it's just a closed pool of water. This whole passage from the pool of water down there does not exist. And as you see, we're going to end up in the passage from this area here, from the water under the foundry entrance, all the way to that grate that we saw before. And in the Nagomi Passage, this is just rock. It's just like there's no platform here. There's no passage down here. This is just literally, this is just empty. No features. Oh damn it! Ouch! That was a big bite. That was a big bite. When did I last save? I'm gonna do a big save, and then I'm gonna go back to my last save. When was this? Did I already kill the spinners? I mean the pupae? Yeah, I guess I must have killed them. There was nothing down there that I needed to do, I don't think. That biter fish took a big chunk out of me. We need to avoid the biter swarm. Let me just get up here to save. Now let's swim down here. So yeah, this whole area is missing from Nagomi Passage. Now what's interesting is you see this fan, if you swim on it, you die, right? So let's swim on it, let's go here, boom, we die. But we can actually shoot it. Maybe not with this. Yeah, if you right click. If you shoot, do an explosive shot. Because the right click on the dispersion pistol is like does splash damage, whereas the left click doesn't. So it affects like certain objects, they only explode when you do like explosion like damage, like splash damage, and other ones. So there are different damage types in Unreal, different weapons with different types of damage, and they have different effects. It doesn't matter. Either way, you can shoot this fan, but if you jump down with the shot fan, it actually still kills you. So fat load good that was. Health here. Scuba gear. GES bio rifle, don't need. Now, let me just save it here. We can swim down here. You can pick up automag and bullets, a heart and some giblets. We'll swim through here. And we're here at that grate, but it doesn't open. So what are we going to do? Well, there's actually a kind of hidden lever. It's a bit difficult to see, but it's the only way out of here. So you see over here, this thing, you got to press it and run fast because it's timed. And now it's just about to close. There we go. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I can't think what else there is to show you. The other thing I just want to mention is it's interesting. So like, you know how this is a hub map? So we're going to go to this map several times. Well, in Nagomi Passage and Return to Our Party, that sort of phenomenon is sort of replicated, like artificially. Okay, what am I trying to say? What I'm saying is here, we actually do go back to this exact same map. In Return to Our Party, they don't do hub maps. In the released Unreal, they don't do any hub maps. But what they do is they make two versions of this map. And they make it so you go to the first version, you do Valora Temple, and when you leave Valora Temple, in the exit text, you leave Valora Temple in that same exit from Aztecs that we saw before, and then when you leave it, you're back in another version of this map. So it's like physically a different file, and it's meant to be like a different time of day. So like as you see, it's called like, I think the file's called like Nagomi Sun or something, because it's like daytime and the first one is like nighttime or something. So it's like, but it's like the same, it's like a physically different map. It's like programmed as a different map, but it's like meant to be the same physical location, but just explored at a later point in time, which replicates that whole hub map feel. Whereas here, it's like, it's a real hub map, it's a true hub map. So we're going to actually come back to this exact same map after we leave Aztec and after we leave Nexus. So now the only thing left to do, I'm just checking that I've said everything I wanted to say. Yeah, I've said everything I wanted to say. So the only thing left to do is to go to the next map. So we have two options. Either we go to Nexus, or we go to Aztec. I am going to go to Aztec first. No particular reason. I guess in the walkthrough it does Aztec first as well, and I guess, I don't know. I just feel, I'm pretty sure you can do it in either order. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter which order you do it. But I just feel like, I don't know, I'll do Aztec first. So, let's swim down here. Pick this up. Save it. And now we press this button. I would go to Aztec. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye!